Hello and welcome to the Wednesday edition of the United Front. My name is Raz, and wow, Premier League is back, baby. Super excited. Lots of very good games today. Actually, not lots. A couple of very good games that, with the results will really make a lot of Man United fans very happy. All right. So with that being said, we're going to talk about what's being discussed in the on ManUnited.com. We're going to talk about the Daily Express, the Daily Mail. Then at the end, I'm just going to give you a little bit of my thoughts or my take on where United stand based on the results that took place today. All right. So let's start with that. Without further ado, let's talk about what ManUnited.com say. So lots of great stories on that site today. Obviously, the most important, it seems like Manchester United players are really excited about the season starting. They're ramping up. They're getting ready. They're looking fresh. Rashford obviously looking really good. In addition to that, Luke Shaw was actually talking about what Manchester United players are doing to get ready or to prepare for the big game on Friday when they take on Spurs. According to Luke Shaw, it looks like Manchester United are really practicing on the high press. That's something that worked really well for them the last time they played Spurs. Unfortunately, Spurs scored a goal that United players believe was actually supposed to be a handball before it went in. So there you go. Look, very excited. But ManUnited.com's got a lot of news on there. So when you get a moment, take a look at it and check it out. All right. In addition to that, there's also the Manchester Evening. They're talking about the same thing, specifically how Manchester United are preparing. Right. They got some really cool clips. I believe they got those clips from ManUnited.com as well, where they were showing some one-touch rondos that Man United players were, basically participating in. And it looks like there were two groups that were broken down, and there were, had two players in the middle, and it was just one touches all around, and it looked really good. Got up this morning and took a look at that, and it was pretty impressive. Hopefully that will translate into some good stuff when United play on Friday. Really excited and looking forward to that game. All right. In addition to that, I'm telling you, the team looks sharp. I know it's too early, and I know it's practice. I know we haven't had an opportunity to really see what they look like, but so far, they're buzzing. They're looking good. Perhaps we've just had a lot of exposure to United, unlike other teams. So I can't speak on behalf of how they looked or how Arsenal looked before, the score today, the result today, which we'll talk about later. All right. So the Daily Mail. Let's talk about what the Daily Mail featured today. Lots of great stories in there. Obviously, it seems like they're very pro Man United. I mentioned this on Monday, and I would like to mention it again because that gesture in this young man is super impressive. Marcus Rashford, again, right? So apparently, Rashford had a meeting or a conversation with Boris Johnson. For those that don't know who Boris Johnson is, he's the Prime Minister of the UK, right? Rashford talked to Boris Johnson on Tuesday, I believe, that was yesterday. And he was so touched, Rashford was, and so passionate about making sure that he represented those kids that, those school kids that were going to go hungry had the British government not taken action. The conversation that he had with Boris Johnson was all about mutual respect. It sounds like Boris Johnson was really impressed with Marcus Rashford. He thanked him for a very long time during that conversation, throughout that conversation. And Boris Johnson made the decision to actually fund 125 million pounds, sorry, not dollars, for those kids to have meals while school is closed during the summer. So that is really impressive. Kudos to Marcus Rashford. He was one of those kids, and to know that he has not forgotten where he came from, that's exemplary. That's amazing. So that was reported in the Daily Mail. The Daily Mail also reported that this is going to be important for you to know, that the Europa League is actually going to be taking place in Germany. So it's going to be taking place in 4 cities in Germany. And it's going to be different. And here's why. So you've got the quarterfinals and the semifinals and then the finals, right? Typically, the quarterfinals and the semifinals are played over 2 legs, right? This is going to be a mini tournament. So the Europa League is going to be a mini tournament featuring it's only going to be 1 leg as opposed to 2 legs, right? Typically you've got the home game and then the away game, and then you get the aggregate scoring there, based on, away goals and things like that, right? Well, not this time. This time, if you lose, you're out. So that's going to be very, very interesting. What does that mean? I think it adds a little bit of pressure maybe on Manchester United to really do their best at finishing strong in the season, because who knows what could happen during the Europa League, right? And that's going to be played, by the way, the tournament will be starting, I believe it's going to be August the 10th or the 9th, but the last day is going to be August 21st. So that's going to make things very, very interesting. Looking forward to that, and we'll give you a little bit more news on that as soon as we get it. The last part that I want to talk about is really the upcoming fixtures for Man United. So we've got a few teams that are really fighting for that top 4 spot, right? We've got Leicester that are 8 points ahead of Manchester United. They obviously have the advantage based on the numbers. You got Chelsea that are 3 points ahead of United, and Chelsea are in 4th, by the way. Manchester United are 5th. In 6th we've got Sheffield United that played Aston Villa today and tied. 1-1. I'm sorry, 0-0, not 1-1, 0-0. So that was interesting, and that was a really, really big boost for Manchester United. That's because Sheffield United were 2 points behind United. Had they won that game, they would have actually jumped ahead of us. And thanks to apparently some technology issues with goal line technology, a goal was missed, and United are the beneficiary of that. Obviously, Sheffield United are not happy about that, but hey, look, you win some, you lose some, right? So, really excited about that. And lastly, I want to get something off my chest just a little bit, right? So, Arsenal fans, and I promise this is not about you, this is about Manchester United. Right? So, there's been all this talk about Arsenal being really, really exciting team and rejuvenated under Mikel Arteta and all of this great stuff, right? Well, guess what? You lost today against Manchester City. You didn't lose. You got killed 3-0. Apparently, David Luiz, had a shocker. Was responsible for 2 goals. And then in addition to that, he got a red card. So the good news about that is Arsenal stay in their place, which is 9th. Arsenal is still 5 points behind United with a lot of games to go, right? Anything can change. The main thing that I want to address about that is the conversation about who is a better manager between Mikel Arteta, who worked under, Arsene Wenger, one of the best managers, obviously, in, Premier League history, and worked under, Pep Guardiola, and not too long ago. He's like an insider. He should know everything about, Manchester City. Apparently not. Manchester United beat Manchester City home and away in the league in December and in March. First it was 2-1, and in March it was 2-0. Arteta against Manchester City, the team that you know very well. You go out there and, it's 3-0. Look, it's not about you, Arsenal fans. It's not. This is really more about the case that Solskjaer, I think, deserves a little bit more respect than what he usually gets. I get it. There are echoes out there saying, well, how good he is will be determined by where United finish. I can tell you that United are still in the rebuilding phase. We're still building. And I believe we're going places, It's about putting the right pieces of the puzzle in place, okay? The honeymoon is over for you, Arsenal. In addition to that, you had 2 injuries. Those injuries can happen. When it comes to squad depth, I think United are in a good spot, right? We're in a good spot. We've got some good players. Everybody's fully fit. Arsenal lost Saka, Saka today. Very important player in the midfield. Then you also lost Mari, a defender. And that's how David Luiz came in, and the rest is history, right? So look, Super excited. I'm looking forward to Friday's show. Hopefully the result will be positive. If it's not, guess what? We'll still have the show, and the show must go on. For right now, looking forward to talking to you again.